Okay, hello and welcome. It's the weekend, July the 30th, so we're just going to do some practice training. So GBP USD, so Great British Pound US Dollar. We're on replay mode in TradingView. We won't be placing actual trades because it's the weekend, like I said. We've got a little notepad file to record wins and losses. So we're just going to practice through, pretending this is where it's up to 13th of May 2021. So if we were looking at the chart from this point here, bear in mind I am learning, so this is for all of us to learn, and by no means any particular advice, may be wrong. So I would look at this now and look for key levels of support and resistance. So we can see, obviously, there's one at the top here. So if it comes up to this point, that would be an area of interest which may bounce back down, may break through, who knows. And obviously this level here where it's turned around, we can look to the left and see it's also had a bounce there. So if we look previously, see if there's any other nearby activity. You see at a push it bounced off there. So we have frequency 1, 2, maybe 3, possibly 4. So that is obviously a major resistance level in this region. Now we use bars because it is in a region and not a defined fixed line. So looking at this, we would say we're in this consolidation area. So it's clearly gone up, tested the resistance, bounce back. Now this is where we'd be looking for a downtrend if we were at that point there, and as it was, it came up and actually did come down. So if we'd started here, we'd seen the bounce, we were taking a short position down here and possibly won, but that's in the past, we've missed that one. So we'll just carry on from here and see what we'd do. Now to come down to the resistance level, so we'd be looking for a bounce to show that it's on its way up. We can draw that on. So we'd be looking for a bounce there and then back up to our support level, and obviously take a long position somewhere after the bounce there. The other option, of course, is it breaks through, in which case we'd be looking for a bounce up or a retry and then a downtrend. And obviously if it were to do that, we'd be looking to take a short position somewhere after the loop here. Now I haven't played these through already, so I have no idea which way it's going to go. It may consolidate for the next few hours, so let's find out. So it's on its way up, so we're looking to see whether it comes back to test the support level. It looks like it has, and whether it will bounce back up or carry on through is the next question. Got an engulfing green candle there. I can zoom in a bit more, I think, can't we? A large engulfing green candle. My webcam seems to have gone off, but my sound's still recording, so we're okay. Right, so let's just carry on playing and see what happens. Now, from this point of view, it's bounced as far as we're concerned, and looks like it's on its way up. It's past, this line was just a line based on my target there. Obviously, in this case, it's going to be more near here. So we're going to, because that's the level reached. So we're going to see if it passes that level. Right, so at that point when it passes that level, we'd be inclined to go for a long position. So we can get in, there's the current level, so we'd get in there, all the way up to just below the top level. We never want to go here because it may only come up to this level and bounce back down. So ideally roundabouts there. Stop loss needs to be below these levels here with a little bit extra. So we got a ratio of 2.28, which is a bit more than what we need, because we're going to go for 1.5 to 2, but we can play it out and see what happens. We set it to ratio 1 to 2 then, give or take, and we'll play it out from there and see how that goes. So here we go. It's looking quite promising. At this point I probably would have brought my stop loss up, which I know you're not supposed to do, but I'm new to this and I probably would have done. It seems we're only testing, and there we go. So that would have been a win for us, with a nice lovely 2 to 1. So we can add 1 win to our chart there with a 2 to 1 ratio. Very good. So we'll put a text above that. So that's a win with a 2 to 1. Okay, so we'll carry on playing and do another one to see what we end up with. Just a recap, in case anyone was unsure. We looked at the figures wherever it was, down here wasn't it, the starting point. We looked to see this was a support level, we drew a support line in, or a box. Could also see if it had previously had all this support and resistance here and bounced back, so we put the box in there. And then we predicted the 2 possible outcomes, although there was a third possible outcome, we're just consolidating. The ones we were looking at was whether it goes long, up, in which case it'd be a bouncing up, and then we'd look for above the bounce, or down in a retry, and down, in which case we look for just below the bounce there. As it was, we went long, and we won. And that is it for that one, so we'll just carry on playing, see where that goes. Okay, so we could have left that in for a lot longer and gained a lot more, obviously, but that's hindsight. So looking at this now, we've still got these support and resistance levels. We'd have minor support levels here, so we could draw in support lines, horizontal lines. See, there's one around about there, probably one there, maybe one there as you come down. So these would be minor lines and these would be major supports and resistances. So now we're looking at this level here, because breaking through, we'd want to look if it's going to bounce off there, so we can draw that on again, whether it's going to bounce and carry on up, or whether from here it's going to come back down, retry and come down. And that's the type of trading we're testing today. So we would look to the left. If it was going to come back down, we'd look left for previous support levels. We've already drawn in these minor ones, which are a bit irrelevant maybe, but something to bear in mind. This was quite a more of an important support level maybe, so we could put a box on that, because it did have some resistance there. So if it came down here, we could suspect it may well come back up or might break through. Looking further left for major support, if it comes down, would clearly be this large level of support at the base still, so that's still our support level going down. Now if it trended up, looking to the left, we don't have anything anytime soon of it ever going that high. So if it does go up, we've got no previous support and resistance levels to match that too. So does that mean it's more likely to come back down, because it's never really gone past this point any time in recent history? Obviously in the past it would have done. Who knows? So we're pushing up to 10 minutes now. We've got to keep these into less than 15-minute intervals. So we'll play through. Seems to have gone non-full screen at some point as well, and lost my camera, so we're doing well. Okay, so let's carry on playing. So we're not expecting it to break to the upside, because it's never gone that high in the recent history, so we're expecting it to come back down. And how wrong are we? So it's forming new higher highs. That's good. So you can see here that it's formed a bounce a lot sooner than my diagram here. It's had the bounce and then is on the way up. So we would take a trade just above the bounce level here. But we have no previous data in the past to act as support and resistance, so we've no idea where it's going to go up to or just come back down or anything. So we can see the minor levels there, maybe minor there. So really we have two options at this point. It could be on an uptrend that we haven't seen previously, or in any recent history anyway. It's quite a tight line, but so we could gamble that it's on its way up. I would probably be inclined to carry on watching and see what happens. Okay, so it looks like it's consolidating a bit, possibly coming to the downside. Right, so we're back to our support level here, which would make sense because it's never been this high recently anyway. So now we're going to look to see whether we have a bounce off here and comes back up, or if it comes through, bounces and comes down. So let's just carry on playing and we'll see. So it's, I thought it was coming through the bottom, but it wasn't. Oh, that's very weird. So we've got a big green candle followed by a large engulfing red. So break that down to a smaller time frame, 15 minutes, see if we get any more information about that. Right, so here was above the levels. It came down, broke through, bounced back up. It came down, and if it came through there, we would be going for a short position. But as it was, it went back up, forming this time trend, but then came back down. Very weird. Here's the big red engulfing candle we saw on the 1 hour chart. So now it would imply that it's come past this level, and we may be able to take a short. So we'll go back to the 1 hour chart for now. So we'd be looking to take a short on this one if it carries on down. So I'd be cautious and I'd play a couple more to see how that plays out. Whoa, there you go. So we've missed that. Basically, if we'd gone for the short at that point, it would have been a bit of a gamble because we didn't know for sure. But we could have put that in, and obviously it looks like we would have been alright. There's no point putting the short in now because it's so close to our support lines, unless we think it's going to carry on down there. So that would be gambling a bit if we did now. So we probably just have to admit we've missed that one and carry on. Right, so it's returning back up a bit. So we're just going to have to play it until it reaches one of our support levels again. Right, so it's back up there now. So yes, if we'd gone short there, jumped in for FOMO after we saw that big red candle, we clearly would have lost. So we saw the big red candle, we would have FOMO'd in around about there. Stop loss would have had to be all the way up here somewhere, with the targets possibly bouncing off this support level, but we would aim for that, 2 to 1. We clearly would have lost that one, so I'm glad we waited on that. There you go. So, and it's bounced back up there. We'll just have a quick look where that goes, and then we're done on this video. But it's just demonstrating how, when you see it reach a support level, to check for the bounce up or the bounce below and back. And you can see we did again here and here. I mean, this one was a bit unusual, it went above, but it did actually come back down, and then did our bounce and came down, but is clearly on its way back up to that level. So, and let's just have a quick play, see where that goes. So that carried on through. So it obviously is trying to go higher, this one. So it would be one to carry on watching. And that's it. We'll see you next time.